And I was walking through all the different houses on the tour, and they were all fine. But then when I walked into this one house, the house literally spoke to me. For me, it's never about you made it or this is it or whatever. Every time you accomplish something, then there is a bigger mountain to climb. I think we should all put a lot more focus on mental health. Even actually going through some therapy sessions, just with a psychologist or a therapist or whatever, just to get a better understanding of who we are and what motivates us, why do we do the things that we do, and so on. That is super important. And catch things before they go bad too much. Whereas if you're missing from your job site for 2 weeks at a time, a lot of things happen, and then you try to come back and fix it, that's when they become a big problem.
Hello everyone, welcome to Creative Blueprints and welcome to this new episode. Today I'm here with Sharad, that is from SmartDigs. Welcome to Creative Blueprints, Sharad.
Hi. How are you, Mitzi?
Good. Thank you so much for being part of this. I know that I have been inviting you for a long time ago.
Months.
I know, but we are super busy all time, including myself, including yourself. And today we are here in one of the SmartDigs properties built by this amazing construction and building company. So if you can tell us more about this space where we are now, that would be great to know.
First of all, thank you so much for your patience, and my apologies for making this, such a long drawn process. But the important thing is we are here.
Yay!
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yes.
And I have been walking through the properties in the tours, and that's how I knew more about SmartDigs and more about Cox's. I know that this property is a collaboration between the two companies. So that's amazing. I think that's something that we have been talking about in this podcast, is that collaboration is everything in the industry, and that's amazing how the companies can contribute to others to grow more. So yeah, that's exciting to have you here. And I know that this property is already sold. Is that what you told me? So yeah, just tell me more about your favorite spots, how this property started the construction, how long ago, how long this took to have like this shape, and where the inspiration is coming.
So all my projects, every single one of them has been designed by Coexist.
Okay.
Frank and Megan at Coexist, they have designed every single property. I met them in the Modern Homes Tour in 2018, which is when I got into the industry actually. That was about 6-7 years ago now.
All right.
And I was walking through all the different houses on the tour, and they were all fine. But then when I walked into this one house, the house literally spoke to me. And I spent there an hour and a half, got to talk to Frank and Megan. And then as I walked out an hour and a half later, I didn't even think about going to the other houses, because I'm like, I've seen it. I've seen the house. I don't need to see any other houses. So the next day, which was a Sunday, I call Frank and Megan, and I introduced myself, and I had never built anything. I actually was a VP at Dell in the technology industry. I knew less than zero about home building, but I was like, I'm going to build these beautiful houses and I want you guys to design them. And after talking to them a couple of times, I convinced them that they should do it, and we jumped in. And ever since then, every single project of ours, they are the architects for what we do. So the process for us starts a little bit or quite a bit different from with most other builders. So once I start looking for a lot, and typically even when we build these two houses, main house and an ADU, I like to build them on fairly large lots. at least like 9,500 to 12,000 square feet.
Okay.
That way you have good separation between the two houses and each house gets its privacy and things like that. So as soon as I find a lot, my real estate agent, Sandy Bennett with Compass, she and Frank and Megan are involved before we buy the lot even. So as soon as we identify a lot, I engage all three of them and we walk the lots together. And Frank and Megan look at it from an architectural perspective on how to put houses here, what does the surrounding neighborhood look like. Sandy looks at the location of the lot, walkability to different restaurants and bars and parks and things like that. So then each of them come back to me with their perspective on how good a lot this is to build what we want to build, which is a SmartDigs home. So many times we walk away from the lots, even if the price is right and things like that, because for us, it's about creating a one-off beautiful project, not just about buying a lot and building the houses. So once we all agree, then Frank and Megan immediately go to work. And even when they say immediately go to work, the other part you have to realize is every single one of our houses is unique. The floor plans, the exterior elevations, the interior selections inside the houses, every single thing is unique to that project, which means you can walk across any of our projects and you won't be able to say, hey, I've seen this tile before, or I've seen this design feature before, because everything is unique. Yeah. So to create that unique set of plans and vision for each project, it takes Frank and Megan about 6 months, which most builders are again not willing to wait after they buy the lot. But for us, it is worth the wait to create what we do.
Yeah.
So once they come up with a conceptual design based on, for each project, I give broad guidelines on here's the kind of design and here's the kind of things that I would like to see. Based on that, they come up with a design. Once we lock on the design, then we start construction.
Perfect. And just to have an idea, how long this property took, like since the beginning when you bought the lot until the end?
Oh, about 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Great.
It takes a lot of time, because the other part is the simpler and more beautiful a house looks, the more open and more glass that you see, the more complex it is to design and more complex it is to build. So these houses take longer to build compared to standard modern farmhouse type of designs. There's a lot of structural steel in these houses, all these floor to ceiling windows and sliding doors that we have. So there's very little wall space. So there's a lot of steel that's holding the house together, actually.
I have been like super impressed with Cotsist since the beginning, because I met them at the tours as well. And the management of the light is always surprising me, because it's basically illuminated with natural light. And that makes like the space very fresh. So it's more like warm as well. So I love the way that they manage the light, and this one is not exception. So we are right now in 936 Springdale. So probably you saw this one during a tour, an opening or something like that, but this is a beautiful property. So congratulations for, it's already like under contract. So congratulations to the new owners. And so tell me more about your experience in construction. I know that you were not like in the construction field at the beginning. So what you were doing before, how you decided that construction was your thing, and just like forget what you were doing before and just like, I will do this now.
So I started out my career in manufacturing. Actually, not even technology manufacturing, industrial equipment. So we were making pumps and motors and things like that. So manufacture of those in Kansas and Oklahoma, right out of my grad studies. And I was actually started out as a process engineer, but then quickly moved into managing the plants. And so the first one was a very large plant, and I was managing a third of the plant. And then the second company that I moved to in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I was actually the plant manager managing the entire plant. So from there, I made a transition into tech world. and joined Dell. And I worked there about 16 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, I did a whole bunch of different things. Even within Dell, from my one role to the next one, from managing professional services to getting into mergers and acquisitions and actually buying companies, and then new product development. So each of the things I did had very little connection to the previous thing that I did or to manufacturing before. So for me, transitioning from one thing into another is fairly easy. So consequently, when I was done with Dell, I was looking at, okay, what next am I going to do? And one of the things that was super important to me was, even though I did really cool things at Dell, my two sons, they had no clue what I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, if I came home and said, hey, today I helped this thing buy a company for Dell. What does that mean for them, right? I mean, especially then they were even younger. So
it's hard to explain.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. So I was like, maybe I should do something that makes me happy and I can show to my boys, and they can see it and touch it and whatever. So as I was looking at different things, I've always been very attracted to really beautiful architecture. But I also know that I'm really bad at design. So design is not something that I can do. But translating design into reality, that's something I can do very easily, regardless of what the end product is. So that's when I'm like, okay, I'm going to become a home builder.
Okay.
And as I said, I knew less than zero about home building. I just jumped into it and started digging into it and tried to figure out, I mean, what does it take to build houses and so on. I had a couple of good mentors along the way. So got in, started working with Coexist and convinced them to design houses for me. And as I was building the houses designed by Coexist, another really awesome builder one day stopped by and he was like, these houses are very complicated to build. And I didn't understand what he was saying. So if somebody says it's really cold in the Arctic Circle, and I mean, you grew up where? I'm asking you, you grew up in?
Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah.
I grew up in India. So we've not seen snow, right? Yeah, we have not seen snow. So to someone like that, if you say it's very cold in the Arctic region, how cold can it be?
I have no idea.
You have no idea because you don't have a baseline. So the only houses I was building were the ones designed by Coexist. So when somebody tells me these houses are difficult to build, I'm like, what do you mean? I'm building these. How is that difficult? And they were like, well, I mean, that guy was like, well, they are very difficult to build. So I'm like, okay. So I finished that project, built a couple more houses, and along the way, I kept looking at all the other construction that was going on, talking to other builders and so on. And that is when things started coming up. It's like you and I visiting the Arctic and then going, oh, now I understand how cold can be, right? So then I started understanding they don't have floor to ceiling windows. That means they don't need concealed headers. I mean, they don't need steel in their houses. All the little details to where we have a window over the countertop, that means that height has to be very precisely controlled. So there are just hundreds of these details that we have in our houses that make the house come together and look so beautiful that other builders don't have. That's when it started, the light bulb started going off in my head. Oh, okay, now I understand that these houses are, more difficult to build. But by then, that's all I had been building. So it was fine. I mean, and now looking back, there's a couple of things that come to mind. Would I have started with these difficult houses had I known how difficult they were to build? I don't know. I mean, probably I would have still done that. But now that I know, would I build any other houses other than these? The answer is definitely no, because I'd be bored out of my mind just trying to build standard house, whereas
Yeah.
these give me challenges every single day. Every single day there are 5 different problems that we have to solve to
Yeah.
make things happen. So that's what keeps it challenging and fun for me. It makes it a passion.
Awesome. And so you have been in the construction for how many years?
About 6 years now.
6 years. Perfect. And
Yeah.
that's exciting.
Yes.
Congratulations for that jump into something completely uncertain, but now you are super happy to do this.
Yes.
So, okay. And from all the places that you probably have seen and been present on, like starting from India,
Yeah.
what do you think that is your happy place?
Oh, that's interesting. So to me, happy place is not a geographical place.
Okay.
Happy place to me is the people that you have around you.
All right.
So when you're surrounded by your family or your really good friends and everybody is having a good time, that is my happy place. And that can be at my house, that can be when we have a broker's open in one of my houses over here, or we are at a friend's birthday party or whatever it is. So that's my happy place actually, it's the people.
It's interesting that for a builder, the happy place is not a specific architectural place. So that's so funny.
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean, I am very much a people person. I mean, relationships are more important to me than
for sure.
anything else. So because of that, people are what make everything for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we know a little bit more about you.
Yes.
And for sure, the dynamic of this podcast is that we are answering some questions.
Yes.
So those are very interesting, for people that is just like trying to figure out if they want to be part of the construction area or design or architectural kind of thing. So are you ready for the questions?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. So we have the little box there, and
the first question is, if you had the chance to give advice to your 15-year-old self, what would you say?
All right.
That's a really wonderful question, and so it's interesting that was the very first question that came up. We actually started a nonprofit foundation about 5 years ago. Some of my very dear friends and myself. So we actually started it from ground up. And the focus of that organization was to raise money to create awareness among disadvantaged youth here in Austin and help them get exposure to the real estate business, all aspects of real estate business. So we had 4 goals. The very first one was exposure. So that's where the 15-year-olds come in, because that was literally our goal, 15 to 18. So when you were in high school, we would go to different high schools and we would actually talk to the students and help them understand not just home building, but all the different things, like you design cabinets and interior design things. So from all the way from that to architecture, construction, project management, lending, title companies, all of this. So we would try to give them exposure to all the different opportunities. So there was the exposure. And then we would give scholarships to students to go to a 4-year real estate degree program right here at Houston-Tillotson, actually. Yeah, so that we actually work with the dean of the School of Business and Engineering at Houston-Tillotson, and we started a 4-year real estate program. So we provide scholarships to students there. It's actually live and going on right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then the third thing is we provide internships for those students who are studying there. And fourth thing is help them place into companies once they graduate. But that hasn't happened yet because we've just started the program. The first batch is first cohort is in their second year now of this program. So my advice to 15-year-olds, and it's not just advice because we've actually done this, is get yourself exposed to what all is out there. Try to understand what is it that truly motivates you and what are the things that you're passionate about. Because at the end of the day, we should all do things that we are passionate about, and then we produce much better results compared to just taking a job because it's a cool job to take or it pays well or whatever.
Yeah.
If your heart is not in there, what you produce is not as good. So that would be the first thing I would say to my 15-year-old and myself as a 15-year-old or any other 15-year-old is try to really understand what is it that you want to do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. And how many students are like
10 students.
10 students.
Yes,
now.
10 students.
Wow.
Yes, that we actually gave a scholarship to.
And that was live like since
in the last 2 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in the last 2 years. It took us a couple, 3 years to set up the foundation, start raising the money, and actually have enough to. So we actually gave an endowment to a professorship at HTU as well as scholarships for these students.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
wow.
that is something very
a new thing that we know about
Yes.
you guys. Okay, the next question.
Yes, let's see what the next question is. Do you think the mental health is important as a creative? How that impacts your daily work? Well, this is another really good question. Yes, mental health is something that is very important, not just for a creative person, but for anyone, right? So, it is very interesting how little focus we give to the state of our mental health. And we focus on so many other things. We focus on looking good. I mean, we focus on going to the right places or having good food or having fun and things like that. But I don't know how many people give a thoughtful and sufficient time on how is my mental health.
Yeah.
Why do I do the things that I do? And introspection around, I mean, how am I doing, right? I mean, and things like that. So, yes, to me, I think we should all put a lot more focus on mental health. And towards that, even actually going through some therapy sessions, just with a psychologist or a therapist or whatever, just to get a better understanding of who we are and what motivates us, why do we do the things that we do and so on. That is super important. And it's funny, if you had asked me this question 10 years ago, my answer would have been very different, actually. So as I have grown older, I mean, I have realized that the importance of that and the lack of focus on mental health there is, to where I have gone through therapy and I believed I didn't need therapy. I know everything about myself. I'm very self-aware and I'm very happy. I don't have any issues and things like that. But going through therapy has really helped me understand how do I show up in my relationships with whether it is my sons, whether it is my partners, friends, whoever. So it's brought a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
So I think it's super important.
Awesome. And do you have like, I don't know, like an activity, a ritual that you practice every day that helps you with your mental health?
Oh, that can be different for different people, right? For me, it has always been driving. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's always been driving.
Even in Austin?
Even in Austin.
Wow.
Yeah, so something I have always done is, whether it's in an evening or a weekend or whatever, just get in my truck and drive on country roads.
Wow.
And that can be peaceful, right? I mean, because it's all cows and pastures and greenery around you and there's barns and things like that. So this is something I have done all the time, always.
Cool.
And that is very therapeutic for me. But the driving part, regardless of where I do, including if I'm sitting on I-35 these days when it's completely clogged,
that's why I was
that is
asking.
still therapeutic for me, because
Wow.
I am alone and I don't have things to distract me. So I can actually think through things and contemplate on things. So that's what actually helps me, and that's something I do
Interesting.
every single day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We do. So,
Yeah, but I also read a lot. That is also for
Oh,
me
right.
a way to wind down, and a way to find my center is reading.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, the next question.
Okay, let's see what next comes up. Share with me a big mistake during your career as a designer, architect, builder, business owner. How did you solve it, and what did you learn from it? This is a good question. So, for me, it's not so much about in the process of building a house or anything like that. It is about the real estate business itself, and the importance of reading the market, which is very difficult anyways. So when we started building, the market was on the upswing, and we were able to build these beautiful houses, and we had a market for them.
Yep.
Whereas in the last couple of years, the market has definitely slowed down quite a bit, to where the value on the real estate properties in Austin has come down drastically.
Yeah.
So based on that, now we are having to figure out what is the right combination of features and design and everything to build houses to meet the current market. So I guess the mistake there was not reading that market soon enough and making the transition. So, and the funny thing there is, we all know that the real estate market is very cyclical.
Yep.
Yeah, still we all kind of get into believing that when things are going up, we believe things will always go up.
Yeah.
And when things are looking down as they are right now, we think they'll always look down. So things change. So the adapting to different parts of the real estate cycle, that's what I think I need to do better as we move on.
Do you remember, like, I don't know, like a little anecdote?
Yeah, anecdote. Yeah.
Yeah, that you remember that was a challenge, even like if it was not like a mistake, considered like a mistake, it was a challenge to go up from there. Like, I don't know, like reading the, I don't know if you put a lot of materials that was making the property expensive or something like that, and that was like very challenging to sell that property. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, this Springdale project itself, right? I mean, we have so many architectural details in these houses that this was a really expensive build.
Yeah.
So, and then the question was, I mean, once you are locked on the design, and once you start building, do you make any changes or do you continue with it? So that, for this project, I mean, we have so many high-end finishes on these houses, including the terracotta tile on the exterior of the houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the glass, the extent of the glass that we have in these houses and everything. Yeah, that was a difficult challenge, but we were committed to that path, and we had to move forward, and we still built this amazing project.
Yeah, it's part of the signature of your houses.
Yes.
So yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Can you describe a moment when you felt you truly made it in your career? I don't know that such a thing exists. And I'll explain why I think so. So for me, it's never about you made it or this is it or whatever. Every time you accomplish something, then there is a bigger mountain to climb. There is a further distance to go. So consequently, it never feels like I have made it, because there is always a new challenge. Regardless of what you're doing, there is always a new challenge. So based on that, I mean, I think, and that is what motivates myself and a lot of people, because if you say you made it, then what is your motivation to go to the next mountain, right? So for me, it is always about what is the next challenge. Yes, we accomplished this, but how can we do this better? How can we do this faster? How can we get to the next level of architecture and next level of building science and things like that, to where I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah, for sure. I was actually thinking that what is something that you think that is motivating you to continue to the next mountain? Like, if you see that way, I don't know, like comments from someone, the people that is coming to openings to see your houses. What do you think that is that part that is motivating you to continue with this?
So that's a good question. I think to me, the biggest, I'll say motivation to me comes very much from inside. Okay, it's not hardly based on what other people say or think or do or whatever. So motivation comes very much from inside, because that's who I am. That, I mean, I'm always like, I mean, what can I do better? I mean, yes, we did this, so now I need to do even better. Okay, what's the next step? What's the next milestone we can accomplish, and so on. But if you ask it as a validation, then yes, that comes in the, for example, in the building industry, when other builders who've been building houses far longer than me, 3, 4 times, 5 times longer than I have been, because it's only 6 years for us.
Yeah.
So even 3 times is 18, 20 years. There's plenty of builders who've been building for 20 to 30 years. And I have actually had multiple builders walk through our houses and go, wow, this is amazing. I mean, I don't know that we can build houses like you do. Just last week, one of the builders was describing our houses to somebody else, and he said, Sharad builds these houses that are so meticulous and amazing, they're like jewel boxes. And so to me, that's a good validation that we are doing something right. And that comes with a lot of hard work. I mean, these houses don't build themselves. So you have to be there every single day, involved in every single minute detail, and make sure that, I mean, you understand it, you explain it to the people who are actually doing the work, and they do it right, and so on. It takes a lot of effort, but good things don't come easy. You have to work for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. That's a good answer.
These are good questions. What qualities do you look for in emerging talent in the construction design field? So this is for people who are joining the construction field?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people is currently working for SmartDigs.
Yeah.
But if you are looking for, I don't know, someone that will be part of your team, what are those like qualities that you want to find on that person?
So to me, the qualities I look for, they are not tied to a time or an industry. So by time, I mean like the current time, where now AI is coming in and or whatever, whereas 10 years ago it was something else that was coming in. So that is like tying it to a time.
Yep.
And a lot of people are like, oh, now if I want to hire someone, they need to be really well versed in social media or AI or things like that or whatever, right? So that is tying it to a time. And then tying it to an industry is coming into the home building industry. I need you to have such and such a background. I need you to be able to do this and this. That is tying it to an industry, saying you need to have a degree in such and such, and you need to have 5 years of experience doing whatever or things like that. To me, neither the time nor the industry relevant experience matter. It is who you are as a person, okay? Granted, you have to have some background and things like that, I mean, whatever, but still, whether I was hiring 30 years ago when I was in manufacturing, 20 years ago at Dell, or today hiring for building houses, the things I look for are the same. So first one is intelligence, okay? if somebody is not really smart and gets things and all that, it doesn't matter what else they have. It's not something you can put into them.
Yeah, for sure.
So, see, that is one thing. Second thing I look for is motivation and drive. Do they have motivation? Do they have the drive to learn, to show up every day and to be there and to try to do things right and keep learning and keep learning? So that's the motivation. Because it astounds me today when people say they don't know something. Okay, when you are trying to say, I need you to do this in your field or whatever, and then they come back tomorrow and they still don't know. Okay, I mean, we can access the entire knowledge base of the world on our phones.
Yeah, there is a lot of information available to learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, very relevant, very specific information in text form, in videos, in every possible way. And when people still don't do that, I mean, I cannot understand that. I mean, whether you're a young person, old person, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I cannot understand that. So that's the motivation. If you have the motivation, then you learn, you are there and everything. Third thing is integrity. If you are not a person with integrity, and if you have an ability to get along with other people and be respectful of other people, you may be the greatest in intelligence and you may be super driven and motivated, but if you don't know how to get along with people and if you don't have integrity, then it's not going to work. So to me, as long as a person has those three things and some relevant background, that's what I look for. And then the rest, everything can be learned. The rest, everything can happen.
Well, now you know, if you want to work with Sharad, well, it's something that is more about, I feel that those are more about the values of the person.
Yes, very much so.
And also like if they are hungry to know more.
Yes.
You know, because it's not only like I go to school and that's it.
Yeah.
I basically, if I think about myself,
yeah,
what I learn in school is one completely different thing to what I'm doing every single day. So yeah, that's a very good thing to
And
learn.
you're a great, perfect example for that, because I have seen you now for what, 2+ years at least, okay, 2 or 3 years. And you were doing one thing before, and then now you're with a different company, and you're doing this thing. These are not blogs, these are
a podcast. Yeah.
podcast series. Yes.
Yeah.
See, I'm so old, I don't even know what to call this. But you started this.
Yeah.
And just as we talked right at the beginning of this conversation, your persistence. I kept saying, I'm sorry, I mean, I want to do this, but I don't have time. Most people would give up. They would say, he's not interested, or I'll go find somebody else, or something like that. You did not give up. You continued, you persisted. That is super, super important quality for success. So, I mean, to me, you're a great example of somebody who thinks, who is driven, who's motivated, and who goes out and does what needs to be done. That's what will make you successful compared to so many of your peers. And even among your friends, I'm sure, I mean, there's some, maybe they're more successful than you, but you're more successful than a lot of your friend circle. But that's not accidental.
Interesting way to see that.
Totally. I mean, you get up in the morning every single day and you're like, I'm going to get these many things done and I'm not going to stop until I get those done, right?
That's
but a lot of
the
people,
goal.
Whereas a lot of people, they're like, today I'm just going to go have fun.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that's the difference.
Good way to see it.
Yes, that's the difference.
Thank you.
No. I mean, I admire what you do very much, actually.
Oh, thank you.
What sacrifices have you made to grow your business and career? That is, again, I mean, you have really nice questions here. And that is something, to me, especially that is relevant because particularly in my previous careers, in manufacturing and technology and all that, 70-hour work weeks were like very common. 60, 70-hour work weeks were very common. And travel, there was a lot of travel. So the sacrifice you end up making is you don't have enough time for your kids and your family. And that can be a not nice thing. I mean,
Oh,
not
yeah,
being
for
there when
sure.
your kids are growing and so on. So, one of the things I set out to set right when I started the construction business was, it's not like I don't work as many hours, but there is a lot more flexibility in this business to where you still have to put in, I mean, a lot of hours, but you get to pick and choose. And when I need to do something for my boys or for myself or whatever, I can make the time, go do that, and then come back and do what needs to be done.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have control of what you are doing.
Yes.
You consider that now what you are doing, like in terms of construction, makes you happier than when you were like in the technology or manufacturing?
So that is a little more nuanced question, because it's not like I was unhappy. In fact, I was incredibly happy, because when I mentioned about doing mergers and acquisitions at Dell, Dell had several people, but still these several people, we were completely in charge of buying a company and things like that. So it's not like I was part of a team that did that or anything like that. So how many people get an opportunity like that? I mean, I was leading a team of product development people and things like that. So I had amazing experiences. I got to do and learn really beautiful things at Dell. I was really happy with what I did there. But again, until you get to the next level, you don't know what else is out there, right? So as happy and satisfied and contented I was at Dell, this is the next level, because here I'm completely responsible and accountable for whatever I do, and I get to make the choices and decisions that I make, plus the flexibility. So because of that, yes, I am much happier here in this business, but that does not mean I was not happy in what I did before.
Okay.
But I'm definitely much happier here.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that probably is the last one.
This is the last one?
So how many? I think that you have like some 5 questions there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Okay, this is the last one.
Yeah.
I will pick a different one, because this one I think I already answered. What do you look for when you're hiring new team members, and what qualities? Yeah, so it was, to me, it was the same thing. As long as you're smart, and as long as you're smart, you're motivated and driven, and you have integrity and get along with people, then you're hired. So, yeah. What are some of the biggest challenges you have faced as a business owner in the construction industry? A lot of people, you were going to say something?
No.
Oh, a lot of people, talk about things that we face as challenges. I mean, finding the right materials, finding the right subcontractors to work with, and things like that, and all that, working with the city is a challenge, all those things. Perhaps because of the way my mind works, and perhaps because of the challenges I have faced in my previous roles, where they were like really very large scale challenges, that, I mean, there were times when I was responsible for supporting very large clients of ours and their IT systems, to where, I mean, if we did something wrong, their entire IT system could shut down and things like that. So compared to that, when a sub doesn't show up on a Monday morning, it's not a challenge. A lot of people complain about those type of things, but to me, it's not a challenge. I mean, it's a lack of communication. Because most of the times, our trades and our partners want to do the right thing. It's just we need to communicate with them, and communicate with them leading up to whatever is being done. I mean, so you start 3 weeks before and you tell them, hey, I mean, are you going to show up 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now? And then the Friday before, you call them and say, hey, tomorrow, Monday morning, are you going to be there? When we do that, that builds a level of accountability, and people show up. And if they don't, they call you and say, hey, my truck broke down, otherwise I would have been there. I'll be there later today, whatever. Communication. So when you do things a little bit differently, things really work out. To where, I mean, most problems that we see in the construction industry, they're very much workable. I mean, you design cabinets, and then sometimes you design it, we measured it, but then when we try to come in and fit it, something is not fitting right. So can it be a challenge? Yes. But then as long as you are working with me very closely and you are available to fix the problem, then it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it. So based on that, I mean, to me, yes, every day you face new opportunities and challenges and things like that, but nothing that is really
An emergency.
yeah,
or-
no, nothing that brings everything to a standstill or, oh my God, I mean, what is going on or anything like that. You just
Cool.
address them and you move forward.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good way to
Uh-huh.
see the issues in the construction, because they're like always like something wrong or something is not fitting well or something, but everything is fixable.
Yes.
So
And the thing is, measure twice, cut once. So be there and think through every step of what you're trying to build. And then the very first day a new trade shows up, be there with them and walk them through everything very clearly on what you're trying to do. And then again, show up. For example, we are doing a remodel, and this morning I was at the job site and the plumber hadn't shown up yet with his crew. Today they were supposed to start. They hadn't shown up, so I leave, and then he calls me literally 30 minutes later and starts asking me questions. Hey, what do we do here? What do we do here? So I'm like, give me 20 minutes and I'll be there.
okay.
So I drove back and we spent an hour, walked through everything. And the interesting thing is, I didn't prompt him. He was actually explaining to his son, whom he's training to take over the business.
Okay.
He was telling his son, I mean, Sharad is always there on his job sites and he explains everything that needs to be done. And that way we are able to get things done right and we don't make mistakes. Whereas a lot of other builders, they never show up and then they come back and say, how come this is wrong and that is wrong?
Yeah.
So my point in all that is, if we show up and if we are present, then we can explain what our expectations are and catch things before they go bad too much. Whereas if you're missing from your job site for 2 weeks at a time, a lot of things happen, and then you try to come back and fix it, that's when they become a big problem.
Yeah, exactly.
That is when they become a challenge. Whereas me, by being there every day, when I catch them, they're still small problems.
Yep.
They're easily fixable. But if I came back 2 weeks later, the plumber has done his work, then the drywall guy has put in drywall, the tile guy has
Oh
come
my
in.
God, no.
Yeah, now we have to go back and remove the tile, remove the drywall, and fix the plumbing. That's a big problem.
Yes, it is.
Whereas if I was there 3 weeks ago and I caught the plumbing at rough end, then it's not a problem because it's a 5-minute fix at that point.
Absolutely.
So we try to keep everything to small problems.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And
It's like
prevent them.
communication and like be present in the
Be
job
present.
site, just like checking everything. Like each
There is
time.
no shortcut to that at all.
Yeah.
In the construction industry, there is literally no shortcut to being there and talking to people.
That is true. Communication.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this little interview. If you can let us know how we can reach you out, how we can find SmartDigs, if there are like some coming projects that we could check out, and I don't know, your social media, website, whatever that we can check out.
Yeah, so I have a website, SmartDigs.homes. I do have a SmartDigs Instagram account, but I rarely post there. So I am not a social media person. So
No problem.
Yeah.
We can follow
just
you
reach out to
there.
me.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you can just reach out to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Your email, I don't know, like.
It is s.mudhol@smartdigsaustin.com.
All right, perfect. Well,
Thank you so much.
And this property is amazing. I will put you some. You have seen like some videos there that I will post as well. So thank you so much. Thank you for being part of this. This was like very like inspiring for everyone that wants to be part of this. And yeah, I hope you like this video. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram as Creative Blueprints, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really
Bye.
appreciate it.